Hey, and welcome back to ZÁY SHEEN Webisodes, where sustainability meets style. I'm your host, Tafreed Butt, the founder of ZÁY SHEEN, a brand rooted in sustainable and ethical elegance. Today, we are honored to collaborate with Liza Kazakova, the founder of Võld Urban, a sustainable apparel brand she launched in 2020 with a mission to unite performance, style, and eco-conscious innovations. Liza's journey is as inspiring as it is bold. From corporate career and her early years in Russia during the 90s to stepping into entrepreneurship and motherhood, all of which deeply shape her perspective on fashion and life. In this conversation, we'll dive into the founding story of Võld Urban, the groundbreaking biodegradable performance, and her vision for making sustainability not just an option, but the standard in fashion. We'll also explore her personal journey, personal brand, the balance between business and motherhood, and her advice for aspiring ethical founders who want to create with purpose. So get ready for a thoughtful and forward-looking discussion that will challenge the way you think about fashion and leave you motivated to choose differently. So let's get started. So hey everyone, and welcome back to ZÁY SHEEN Webisodes. We got our wonderful guest right here, Liza Kazakova.
Hello, everyone.
Liza,
Thank you very
welcome to
much
the
for
show.
having me. Thank you.
Of course, it is a pleasure to have you. It's been a long time. I've been waiting for this moment to get you on our webisodes. There was so
I
much hype.
know. How was it? Really? Yeah,
Right, of course.
I shared it on my social media, but I think our first intro call was, a month and a half ago or something, or even 2 months ago. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yes.
So I'm very glad to be here finally.
Right. So we'll start. Please share about yourself and Võld Urban.
Okay. So my name is Liza Kazakova. I am one of the co-founders of a sustainable fashion brand called Võld Urban. I'm based in London, and apart from running the business, I'm also a fashion creator and an influencer. So Võld Urban. So if I would explain the brand in one sentence, it would be something like, we are a brand that is, I'm hoping, making a breakthrough in the sustainable fashion industry. So we create clothes that are smart, that are high performing, and that are circular by design.
Right. Wow. Amazing. So yeah, this episode, we're gonna just go over all the, um, you know, things that you're doing differently and the quality and the value that you're providing to the world. But before that, I just wanted to know about you yourself so we can connect you and your brand more efficiently with that thing. So how does it all started? How, what's your background, where you come from, or, how did you get your interest into it?
Yes. So I originally, I came from Russia. I moved to the UK 8 years ago.
Wow.
It has been my home since then. Before starting the fashion brand, I had spent nearly 10 years in the IT industry.
Wow. In Russia or here in
In
UK?
Russia, in the UK, yes, in both
Nice.
countries. I had multiple roles. I used to be a project manager, a product manager, a product owner, a business analyst. So it was all related to analysis and delivering products, IT products to the customers. And basically, I have always been interested in fashion. It has always been my kind of hobby. And one day I met my friend in this co-working space. I think it was in 2022 or maybe even 2021, when she was sitting at the table and she had my Instagram profile open on her phone. And when I came to the co-working space, she was like, Liza, I just looked at your Instagram page. You look like an Instagram influencer. And I laughed at her because I was so far away from being an Instagram influencer back then. And then she showed me a few pictures that she liked. And in that moment, I thought, well, maybe fashion is actually a bit, is something more than just a hobby. So I guess after that, we started talking about setting up a business. We thought about doing a nail salon,
Okay.
about doing a vegan cafe. We had like different ideas, but
Nice.
then we both settled into an idea of starting up a fashion brand.
Mm.
So we did that. I did that while having my software engineering job, like the corporate job. And then at some point I woke up and realized I can't do it anymore. I should take a leave. I can't keep keep growing someone else's business and building someone else's dream. So that's how it
Makes
all
sense.
started.
So when you started your brand, you just quit your job or you just reduce your hours wherever you were working
Good
hours?
question. So I didn't reduce the hours to
Mm.
start with. I kind
Okay.
of did both simultaneously, and it was really hard balancing
Yeah,
out, especially the brand when you're just starting it. You're
exactly.
figuring out so many things. It was really, really hard. But then after about 8 months, I remember waking up on the 3rd of January. That was the first working day here in the UK.
Right.
Uh, I remember waking up and thinking, no, I reached the point when I'm actually ready to reduce the hours and then transition fully into the business.
Mhm.
So I was completely open with my employer and I said, well, I need to take this step. I need to invest more time into the business. He
Yeah.
understood me because he was a business owner himself, and I gradually reduced my hours and then fully
Nice.
transitioned.
Wow. I'm glad.
Okay, I'm glad
Right.
too.
So starting a brand, because you told me, how did you come up with the idea with your friend?
Yeah,
Starting a brand is hard, but
yes,
starting a sustainable brand is harder.
it is.
So how did you come up? I mean, when you found the idea that we're going to start a fashion brand, was it sustainable? Or, how was the journey look like?
Well, I guess the very first idea wasn't sustainable at all, but
Okay.
very quickly we realized that even back in 2022, sustainability wasn't a nice to have. It was already becoming a basic need for the fashion industry.
Right.
And because we are or me and her were both quite hungry for making things better, we
Mhm.
realized no, if we do a fashion brand, we do it properly, we do a sustainable fashion brand, and we take the
Right.
sustainability to the next level.
Mm.
But yeah, that was hard, a very hard decision. But then even harder was the actual building, to be honest.
What was the most thing that you could remember was the hardest, or you said, "Oh my God, how I'm gonna resolve this?"
Two things.
Okay, that's even better.
Balancing, yes, even better or even worse, we don't know. But the first thing was to actually balance the sustainability bit and the high performance bit, because we wanted to do clothes that are clever, that save you money, time, that make you look sharper, that make you feel good. So we knew they would have to perform well, they would have to be iron free, maybe odor controlling, maybe stretchy. And then when you kind of do your research and you look for the right fabrics, you realize that many of high performing fabrics are not
Right.
sustainable at all because they're man-made fabrics, they're polyester, they're elastane, and it's really hard to find a sustainable alternative
Mm-hmm.
to them.
Right.
That was the first problem, to source the right fabrics that are both high performing and sustainable. The second problem was to make it all economically viable, because sustainability is very, very expensive, as you, I'm sure, know very well, because you're
Yeah.
building a sustainable brand yourself. And all this, everything that has that sustainable word to it is
Yeah.
like X2, X3 in price. So that was
Mhm.
the second problem.
Right. So I actually had a webisode last night with one of the sustainable fashion advocates. She actually started like 30 years ago in the US, in the 90s. She was telling and she was explaining that, the sustainable fashion shouldn't be expensive. It should be, I mean, there are options that are available that could go cheaper, but you're buying sustainable things like thrifting, clothes swapping, and all those things. What are your thoughts on that? Or if the people who just don't want to spend that much money, do you think it's a great option to go with?
It's a great option to go with, and you can be sustainable in many different ways. And I know that many like Gen Z people, they are really into shopping
Mhm.
secondhand and thrifting, and that's one way of being sustainable. And it's even more sustainable in the way that when you buy something secondhand, nothing else needs to be produced for you, and
Right.
that's very, very sustainable. So I'm absolutely not against that option. I just, I guess I'm trying to solve a slightly different problem because the fashion industry is already a very hardly working mechanism. Like it can't really stop. It can't really stop the production because the volume, the demand, like it's all very, very, very intense. So what I'm
Right.
trying to do with Võld Urban is to kind of reimagine that process, to slow it down a bit, to give people option to buy a new thing. So if you're into buying new stuff, which many people are,
Right.
fortunately or unfortunately, I'm trying to give them a better option or maybe the best option on the market. So I guess both can coexist.
I totally agree with you on that because the products that I have at ZAY SHEEN, also the new products. First, I always suggest to the people to go secondhand, buy thrift, or do clothes swapping if they can, because that's the best option. And you don't have to produce anything new for that, as you just mentioned, Lisa. But of course, there are people who don't want to go there and they, buy into new stuff, as you said. Then, if you're doing that, just support the sustainable and ethical brands and the quality products. So, the which can last you long and you have a good product and you know that you did something better for the people and for the planet, you know?
Yes, I totally agree. And also, you made a really good point about buying pieces that last longer. That's another
Right.
way of being sustainable because this
Yeah.
way, if you invest into a quality piece, you don't need to replace it that
Right.
often, right? It lasts you years and years, decades and decades, maybe. If it's a classical silhouette, like, I don't know, our Võld Urban show, that's pretty much, it's simple, it's
Mm,
classic, it
right.
will last you really, really long. And I really like this idea. I think this is
Right.
another way of buying new but still being
Right.
sustainable.
And one more thing that I realized is if you're buying a good quality product, which is also sustainable and ethically made, you can just divide the number of wears that you wear in the meantime. Like if you buy a $5 tee and you're just wearing for one time, it costs you $5 to wear that once. But if you're buying a $40 or $50 tee and you're wearing that for over 200 times, just divide that. And you can
Yes.
find out what is the numbers and how much it's going to cost you per wear. Like this
Yes.
t-shirt that I'm wearing right now, I made this in 2020 and I'm still wearing it with over, I would say, 300 washes. And, the color is there, the print is there, the quality is
Yeah.
there. So I
Yeah.
would say it's free if you're investing in the quality products.
Yes. Basically, you made a return on your
Right.
investment.
The ROI is
Yeah,
good.
that's a great way of saving money as well. And
Yeah.
I think people have to, well, I would like to more people to understand that that's where you not only save the planet,
Right.
you actually save money as well.
Right. It's, I mean, it benefits everybody. It's a win-win
Hmm.
for you, for the consumer, for the brand, for the people, for the environment. Everything is okay. Everybody's happy, with just
Exactly.
one decision that you made.
I then also want everyone buying new things to think about the end of life of their clothes because that's another part. Like, what happens when you no longer need your t-shirt or your
Hmm.
shirt?
Yeah.
That's the kind of problem we realize while building the brand because, as you know, sustainability is a spectrum.
Right.
It's multidimensional. There are different ways of approaching it. And we specifically thought, well, the ethical production is important. The
Right.
longevity of the product is important.
Right.
saving money and time and energy and water is important. But then what happens when you no longer need it? And we try to solve that problem too by creating a piece that is made of polyester, so it's man-made, but it's also fully biodegradable. And I find it quite, feel like we need to think more about the end of life of our clothes. And I would like the
Exactly.
industry to focus on that a bit more.
Right. Because I remember I had a webisode with one of the other advocates, and she was telling me whatever she buys, she think about how it's gonna end up. Like she is about to buying a book. She's about to buy a light. She's about to buy, I mean, not just limit to fashion, but everything in the life. So she think about how it's gonna end up. So we don't leave any trash or something, which is gonna harm the planet and the people behind us.
Yes, absolutely. And in the clothing industry, actually, I don't know, like maybe you can um, explain how it works in the US, but in the UK,
Uh-huh.
you can, so say you don't need your shirt or your t-shirt, and then you
Uh-huh.
basically have two options. You can, or three options. You can donate it, then you still don't know where it ends up. You
Uh-huh.
can bring it to H&M and they will do their best, as they claim, to recycle it and make it into something new. But again, you have no control over it. You don't know what really will happen. And
Right.
the third option is to recycle it locally with your council, and then you have no control over it. So you don't really know what happens. And with clothing, it's extra tricky as well, because if it's a mixed fabric, say if it does contain 5% elastane, it's
Right.
really, really hard to recycle it, because to recycle it, you first need to, what do you call it? To kind of split polyester from elastane, and after that you
Wow.
can recycle it. And barely,
Exactly.
like, it's really
Any
hard to do it.
waste.
I
Right.
don't think anyone does it.
No, of course. I mean, right now we literally have no excuses. We just need more knowledge, more education about being sustainable, and just go for it. I know the innovations are happening day to day, but we still got so many options, and people are coming up with so many innovations that we can, try to reduce the impact on the planet with this thing. So there are
Yes.
literally no excuses for this.
No, no.
Right.
There are opportunities to shop better
Right.
and help save the planet.
Right, exactly. So, Lisa, in the meantime, before our webisode started, I was waiting and I visited your website. First of all, it's a beautiful website. All of the things that you
I
mentioned clearly and about your product. Because you're wearing that t-shirt and I could see it live, it looks
Yes.
amazing. The bright color. Yeah, I like the patches here. It's
Oh
just
yes,
amazing.
the black.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. Black and white. I love that.
Yes.
Can you highlight more of the things about this shirt that you made? I mean, I would love to know about that.
Would you like to know more about the sustainability bit or
The
the other?
sustainability or the functions of this shirt. I remember you highlighted one of the thing which was I found very fascinated. I'm not gonna say that. You tell me about the features, and if you miss that, I'll remind you.
Okay, perfect. All
Yeah.
right. So this is a Võld Urban shirt. It's a low maintenance, oversized shirt that can be worn as a base layer or as an overshirt, the way I'm wearing it now. It's very lightweight. It's very breathable. It's made of a recycled biodegradable polyester. And not just the fabric is biodegradable, all the trims are biodegradable too. So the threads are made of lyocell, the buttons are made of a corrosinate, and we have no sewn in labels because, first of all, they are itchy.
Mhm.
Second, they create extra waste, and you don't really need it as a consumer. They're only needed for the brands to kind of, comply with maybe some regulations and
Right.
stuff. So we only have a heat transfer label on the neck, on the back of the
That's
shirt.
better. I like that too. Yeah.
Yes,
Because sometimes if you have something in the back, it just always itch, especially for
it
me.
does.
Yeah.
Then you end up cutting it off. and creating
Yeah,
extra waste.
that's another waste.
Yeah, that's another waste. Snowball
Exactly.
even more waste.
Right.
So because it's made of polyester, it's no iron and crease free, so it stays
Wow.
sharp for longer. It's packable. You can pack it in your suitcase when you travel, and then you just take it out of your suitcase, and it looks
If
just
I
as
just roll it and put it in my suitcase for traveling purposes, and when I open it, gonna be the same thing.
yes, it will
No,
be the
no,
same.
no iron needed, no anything.
Well, I would say no ironing would be needed, but
Okay.
then it depends. Like I guess if you pack it up in a very, 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 I don't know, in a tight way,
Like a
you might,
vacuum, you know,
yeah, might have like
a
a
vacuum
vacuum exactly.
package.
You might need to refresh it, but then
Right.
if you pack it like you, as you said, if you roll
Mm,
it and it creates no creases, then you will be able to wear it just as it is, just to take it out,
amazing.
put it on, go on a
I mean,
meeting.
you gotta be saving electricity on the iron and the time, especially. You know, these are the innovations, and that's why I love it because you're gonna save money of electricity. You're gonna save your time that you're not gonna put to iron that t-shirt or the shirt that you have. And I mean, it's just amazing. And it's
Thank
sustainably
you.
made and it's ethically processed. And
Yes.
it's all green flags.
It is. And not only that, because polyester, it actually attracts bacteria.
Hmm,
So sweat is odorless by the nature, but when it combines with the body oils, the
yeah,
bacteria start to grow, and that's what actually creates the smell. So
right.
because our audience, they are commuters, they are young professionals, they wear their shorts all day long, they travel wearing them. There is also an odor control technology called polygiene that stops bacteria from growing. Hence, you don't need to wash it as often, so you save money on water, on electricity bills, on detergents, and you just save time as well. So
Exactly.
very
Uh,
clever.
right. It is. It is. Especially in this busy world that we are in right now.
Yes, exactly. As we say, it works as hard as you do.
Yes, that's right. Lisa, I always so interested to hear about the stories behind the brand names. How did you come up with the name Võld Urban?
Oh, good question. Because we actually had 5 options. We
Okay. Oh,
worked with
wow.
yeah, I can't remember all of them though. And
Okay.
we worked with a marketing agency, so we described the ethos of the brand, the product, and they kind of came up with 5 options. And
Hmm.
then Vol urban is, as you know, it's not quite grammatically correct. Like you're meant to say urban wall, but that was the thing. We kind of played with the words to make the name stand out.
Oh,
That was one thing that attracted us. Then the
cool.
second thing, the actual meaning is vault is also the meaning of vault is a
Hmm.
jump. It's like it's connected to street style sport, I guess you can call it, called parkour.
Yeah.
Parkour. So I don't know. It's a element they do
Hmm.
there. So we thought, well, because our clothes are for urban people, for those who have busy lifestyles, who commute, who travel often, and because we want them to make a vault, to make that jump, to make a leap while wearing our clothes, because this clothes literally helps them to spend more time on what matters. It means they can make big improvements in their lives, in their careers. That's why Vol Urban just stand out to us, and that's why we
Yeah.
chose that name.
Yeah. It's an, engaging name. If somebody hears Võld Urban, the words matches a lot. And it kind of sounds good
Yes.
when you call it.
Oh, really? Thank
Yeah, of
you.
course. And I mean, yeah, I'm calling you Võld Urban. Easy to remember and
Yeah.
sounds good, you know?
Yeah. And then we kind of shorten it to VU, which
Okay.
also work for the branding and everything
Yeah.
else. And we just stick to it. We actually had
Yeah.
one attempt to change the name, but we realized no, Vol Urban is the one.
Hmm. Right. Yeah, I mean, you'll do the innovations in the meantime while you go according to what it needs at the time. So
Yeah.
after being into the business and running it, learning it, what are the what are the things that you um you're facing the problems running a sustainable brand?
Well, I guess the main problem is that the actual sustainability market is only a fraction of the bigger fashion markets.
Hmm.
And by entering this kind of niche industry, we took a risk basically because, well, we did it, we didn't, because I personally believe that when you start a fashion brand, it's better to go with to narrow down your niche, to niche down maybe a few times, because this way you create something targeted, you target the specific audience, you know what you're doing. And in such a saturated industry as fashion, it's better
Right.
to niche down. But then you end up facing a smaller market size. So it means your global market share can be bigger than the sustainability market share. And
Right.
also, I was thinking, well, we might be able to target people who do not actually shop sustainably at the moment by educating them. So that's exactly what you're doing. You're spreading the information about the sustainable fashion brand, sustainable fashion, which is really, really good because many people just don't, some of them don't know that
Right.
there are sustainable options. Some of
Uh-huh.
them think that those options are expensive.
Yeah.
Some of them think it's true. It's really hard to find those sustainable options.
Yeah.
So I guess it's the main problem at the moment is to find the people who would be willing to change their views on shopping for clothes, and they would make a better choice and choose a sustainable fashion brand. So it's like explaining, educating, looking for those who are already nearly there, because
Right.
many people are already.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, it's going with the time, of course. It takes time. And that's the main motive behind what I'm doing with the webisodes too, to spread the awareness, because I also see that there are two types of people. First of all, who just don't care about the thing, or, will
Mm.
try to change their mind, their perspective. So we're working on that. Or the second, who who have the ignite inside, who wanted to change. They just don't know what to do. What are the steps? So we focus on them more. They know about the practices. And as I said, now we have so many things that there are no more excuses. You could just find people, even in the UK or US especially, there are so many things, every state almost. So it's much easier now.
It is much easier, yes, but then, uh, well, we had an attempt at educating
Mm,
consumers. I
yeah.
find this very challenging, not in the way that we shouldn't do it, we absolutely should.
Mm,
So at the moment, we are mainly targeting those who already understand the whole sustainability concept. They are willing to shop sustainably. But the long-term vision of mine is talking much more about sustainability with those people who already want to do something differently. They just don't know how. And we need to give them the tools. We have to spread the awareness. What you're doing is exactly what needs to be done. So well done on that. And that's a really, really big
right.
project.
So before you told me the backstory behind how did you come up with the clothing brand idea. Before that, did you ever thought about having a fashion brand? Or it was
Of
just a
course I
kind of a
did.
thing? Oh, you do?
No,
Okay.
I always wanted, but I always, it was one of those crazy ideas that you think, well, no. I mean, you want to do it, but you don't really believe that you can.
You were inspired by
And
somebody, or you just like to do the thing?
I guess it actually comes from my childhood, from my
Okay.
background back in Russia, because I was
Oh,
born in 90s.
okay.
And straight after the USSR collapsed, and because of the collapse, many people had no money or very little money.
Mm-hmm.
The supply chains were broken, and it was really, really hard to buy anything new due to the
Mm-hmm.
economical situation and due to the actual supply.
Okay.
So I ended up wearing a lot of secondhand clothing, or say if I had a friend who was 2 years younger, she would give me her clothes when they no longer fit her. So there was
Right.
like a bit of a problem around fashion and looking good and wearing what you actually want to wear, because you always had to wear what someone else bought
Right.
2 years
Exactly.
ago.
Yeah. Right.
So that scarcity, I think, kind of formed my love for fashion, because I always wanted to look good. In the Slavic world, women are kind of expected to look good. Um,
Uh-huh.
so I guess that shaped me as well.
Right.
So when I came to the UK, worked as a software engineer for a few years, and I finally had that money to invest into the business.
Okay.
And so my contract ended with the employer. When I reduced the hours, my contract ended, and I had
Okay.
a choice to either look for another software engineering contract or to take a leap and to fully do the brand. So I guess I just remembered my childhood dream, my childhood, maybe even trauma, I don't know. It could be.
50-50, we'll call it.
Yes.
Okay.
I just thought, no, it's time. It's time to
You
do it.
you actually remind me of a objection I heard a long time ago. Not a long time ago, but a couple of months ago. He says that um poor people are the main reason we have waste in fashion.
Hmm. Right.
Do you agree with it, or what what would you say about this? Because I just want to say, you said you always wear the clothes of somebody else's you can't fit on, and my thing is, of course, poor people buy too, but they repurpose the thing that they have, not just in fashion, but also the everyday life things, because they can't afford new things. That's my
Um,
that's what I say. What are your thoughts on this?
so do you agree with this idea?
I uh, I totally I don't disagree, but I don't agree with it too. Because
Mhm.
I believe that urban cities, like the big cities, are more towards buying things and leaving the things that they have behind. So it create waste. And if we look for the poor people, they just try to repurpose. Or maybe it's just a cultural thing, because what I see in my culture, we just always reuse things. So maybe I'm, coming from that perspective, and I'm saying that, poor people are not as much wasteful as the cities, or, the developed countries, the developed areas.
I also agree
Mm-hmm.
and disagree. So I think, say, the poor population of any country, it
Mm-hmm.
also depends on how mindful they are, because if they are mindful and if they're conscious, if they have that, if they feel responsible for the world around them, they reuse and repurpose. And that's a very healthy way of doing it. Then there is the other side. And I guess there are many, many more people who actually, maybe due to their circumstances, because we know that when you are strained, when you don't have enough money, you kind of focus on more basic things. Like you don't really focus on the society, you don't really focus on the sustainability. Like these are not the first things that come to your mind when you
Right.
struggle. So I
Yes.
guess many people tend to buy cheaper clothes. Like we have Primark in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what they do is absolute evil, because basically you buy a shirt or a t-shirt for £5, you wear it 3 times and then you discard it.
Yeah, you said
So
it.
that's the
Right.
other way of doing it, and that's the unhealthy way of doing it.
Yeah.
So that's why I say I agree and disagree. I guess the people are different within every kind of, you know,
The parts of the
mm,
world,
yeah,
different,
exactly. So we
yeah,
can't
different
say no,
territories.
poor population, they generate waste. Not necessarily, but I guess they more tend to it.
Yeah. I mean, if they go for thrifting, that's another case. But you said it the best. You actually pointed the thing that I missed out to say. Because if they're buying cheap fashion, then again, it's the same thing. Of course, they're making the waste and making, the wrong choices with that.
Correct.
Right. Wow. That's mindful. So, for those who don't know, that Liza is also a proud mother. And we'll talk about that too, because you are kind of so energetic person who's doing everything, and who's making a change, making a difference. And being a mother, how do you manage those?
I don't. I'm
You-
glad that you have an impression that I keep it all together. No, I don't. Absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
That's
Okay.
the
We'll talk about it.
reality of it. Yeah, that's the reality of it. But I'm glad that you have that impression, though. Then it looks like it. It's a challenge, a
Okay.
very big challenge, balancing out parenting and two businesses.
Mhm.
Um, I guess I have to compromise on a few things every time. Like sometimes I work really late when she goes to bed. I tend to work quite late in the night, like 10 a.m. p.m., sometimes 11 p.m. Now it's a Sunday and we are filming this podcast. That's another
Uh-huh.
compromise that I had to make, and kind of
Yes.
making space for work during the weekends.
Uh-huh.
But then it's all about juggling, really. It's all about planning. It's all about finding a moment to say, post something, or to write a LinkedIn post, or to find or to tweak a website. It's just staying focused, not wasting your time. It's all about mm, kind of pushing yourself all the time and remembering why you're doing it. Because when you remember the big why, then you find a way to manage it. But I would like to say to all the parents out there who are struggling that the struggle is real and you're not the only ones who are
Right.
navigating it.
Hmm. I remember I had another guest on the Webisodes previously. When
Yeah.
she became a newly mother, she made a decision. She said that if I'm working on something, it has to be valuable, or the thing that I'm passionate about to work on, that can keep me away from my son or daughter. So do you think the thing that you're working on right now is the that you're so passionate about it that you okay, being away a little time from your daughter?
I guess it does just,
Does
yes,
it
I guess
fulfill you?
it does fulfill me.
Okay.
I actually, like literally last Sunday, realized how happy I am doing what I'm doing. Because for the first time in 2 or 3 years, I felt like I did it. Like that moment when you feel like, oh, finally, what I've been trying to do for this many years, it kind
Hmm.
of, I'm finally there, like, or nearly there. You feel that progress, you feel
Yeah.
proud. So
Yeah.
yes, it's very fulfilling. Whether it's something, does it validate me being away from my daughter because it's fulfilling, because it's important? Yes, it does. But then I know there are many parents out there who have to do the same thing, to stay away from their kids, to send them to nursery, say, or to find them a nanny, not because they're doing something inspiring, but because they have to earn money. And that's valid
Exactly.
as well. So your work doesn't
Right.
necessarily have to be um, very inspiring or fulfilling for you to not feel guilty for leaving your child. That's my point. That
Yes.
it's really nice if you can have both the earnings, the profits, the income from what you're doing. But then if you love what you're doing, that's the dream, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I was expecting to hear, because
And I kind of agree with this thing. It has to be fulfilling you, the thing that you're doing, because of course, we all have to remember our values and our purpose. And if we're working towards that, we're making a difference, we're making a change, of course, it does affect, you know, with everything.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that
Uh-huh.
that's the ideal scenario when you
Mm,
kind of remember what your values are, when you remember what you stand for and you're able to translate it into your work. I just wanted to appreciate many, many people who have values, who know what they stand for, but they don't have the opportunity to take that leap.
yeah.
And maybe later in the podcast or now, if you feel like it, we can have a little discussion on how to make a leap and how to make it work.
Yeah. Right. Definitely.
Um,
So what
yeah,
was, I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
yeah. I wanted to ask you about your story and what made you to take a leap. Because if you share your story and I share my story, then people can enjoy two stories, not both. So maybe that's even more inspiring.
Oh gosh, thank you very much for giving me a chance to listen to my story too. Okay.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
go for
sure. I
it.
mean, um, I don't know. I mean, where to start? You tell me. What do you want to hear?
I guess so. As we have already said, starting a business, especially as a technical fashion brand, is really, really hard.
Yes.
And there are many, many people out there who actually want to do it and they have an
Hmm.
idea and they have maybe the opportunity to do it, but they don't do it. And there are certain things that kind of hold them back.
Hmm.
I had those things that held me back. I guess you had those things that held you back. So,
Yes.
what were the things and how did you make it work in the end? How did you overcome?
So that's a good question. My thing is I always focus on the positive thing. If you ask me what were those things who held me back, I would say there was none. And of course, there were tons of things, especially with my family and where I was living back in Thailand, because I was a refugee. And, with all the things, I was the provider for my family. I have to look, I have to, feed 5 people, including myself. And I would have to work on the brand too, you know. And it was not for me to work on Zaysheen like something extra because I'm passionate about it. I literally work. I can start from 5 in the morning till 2 a.m. I can just work because I'm passionate about it. It's not something that, oh, I've worked this much, I worked that much. This thing is holding me back. Oh, this problem came up. I just say, okay, came up. Okay, what's next? What I'm gonna do about that? Okay, I'm gonna solve this and I'm gonna move on. There's a saying that's a saying that I always say that let's resolve this problem so I can get a new one. So let me just finish this so I can start a new thing. So, these are the things. Otherwise, I just don't think about the things that holding me back. I just try to do whatever I can, and whatever the opportunities are always here. You just have to grab them. You just have to start for the new brands that trying to start. You're gonna learn in the way. You're gonna make a difference. You're gonna see what works, what is not, how you can change the thing, how you can change the product. I'm sure, Lisa, when you started this, you did not come up with this shirt that you're wearing right now. I'm sure about that. Right? So yeah,
Correct.
it takes time that to learn. You learn the industry, you learn the fact. And of course, same thing. When I started, it wasn't a sustainable brand. It was just a regular fashion brand. So, you learn about the things, you change it, and you learn along the way. You just have to start. That's all I would say.
Yeah. Yes, I agree because when I started, you know, I wasn't held back by the not knowing how to do the brand or how to do a sustainable fashion brand. I didn't know anything about the business, didn't know anything about the sustainable fabrics, or what sustainability is, or like I didn't even know how to source the fabrics. I didn't even know
Yeah.
where to look for the fabrics and stuff.
Right.
I had no context. So it's like, I had nothing to start with. All I had was a burning fire inside me to do something with
Right.
myself, with kind of
Right.
my ambition, with my energy, with my ideas, with my hunger for making things better. Like I had that fire in my chest burning really
Yeah.
like really hard. Then I earned money from doing software engineering, so I had a certain amount of money to spend on it, and that's important. I guess that's what holds many people back. They
Mm,
probably don't have that starting
yeah.
um,
That's one thing.
amount capital to invest into the business. And I had an idea. So we had an idea of a brand. We knew what we could improve. So I
Mhm.
guess what was actually holding me back is the belief that I could do it.
Hmm.
It's like having the idea and the fire is one thing, but
Okay.
believing you can sustain it is a different
Okay.
thing. So
Okay.
once I let myself believe in myself, which
Mm.
sounds quite, interesting,
That's the
it's
most
all
important
about,
thing, actually.
yeah, it's all about
Yeah.
confidence and
It's
believing
all
in
about
yourself.
confidence.
Yourself.
Right. Right. Because
Yeah.
and I would tell my personal journey, one of the things that I'm sitting right next to you, I mean, in front of you, and I'm talking to you. If you're telling the Tafreed 2 years ago to do this, he won't do that. He don't have the confidence to sit and talk to you for this long, for over 45 minutes now, and, discuss the things, because he doesn't have
Yeah.
the confidence. So it's one of the most important things. And how you gain it, it's, of course, you have to believe in yourself that you can do it. And of course, you have to do it repetitively. You have to do it. You talk to people, you learn about the thing that you're talking about. So you know what is the things, and always be open-minded to learn more about the
Yeah.
things. So
I also
that is
wanted
it.
to say that what I
Mhm.
realized down the line is that starting a brand is not actually the hardest thing. It's hard, yes, but then sustaining and,
Sustaining a brand.
keep doing it is the hardest thing, because you very
Right.
quickly you realize how hard it is. So to start the brand is actually not the biggest problem. Is to keep doing the brand is much harder, and staying and pushing through and like getting over another issue. Like,
Right.
it's a hard job. And
Exactly. I'll tell you. So when I came here to States, and I met a lot of people, and of course the same thing. They saw my Instagram. They say, "Oh wow, the Freeze, you're doing a very cool thing." We always dreamed about starting a brand too. We want to do that too. I you know what I said to them? I hope you agree with me, or let me know your thoughts. I said, if you are passionate about starting a brand, then do it. If you're starting just to have fun or earning money, don't do that. And especially if you're doing the sustainable brand, if you're not passionate about it, you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna just burn out. Because as the very first question I asked you, starting a brand is hard, but running a sustainable brand is harder, because you have to think about the fabric, the design, the sourcing, the the packaging, with all those things, there are extras into it, and
yes,
little to no. And of course, when we say expensive, people don't see these things behind that we're putting extras, you know? So
yeah.
that's the thing.
I guess it actually applies to everything, like
Yeah.
having that love for something or someone, or having that passion. It actually applies to everything. You
Mm.
can't sustain something for a long time if you don't like what you do. It's
Yeah.
very important, and it's really hard to navigate it, because sometimes you feel like, oh, I'm passionate about it, I like it. But then the real test comes when you try to do it consistently over the course of a few years. And that's when you actually realize if you are that passionate about it, because many people, they have an idea, they have that fire that I had, but then
Yeah.
they quickly realize, no, it's not something they can do, on the
It's a lot harder.
weekends. Very late in the night, over and over again, facing problems, because that's the real test. That's
It's
when you
not
face the
something that
first
you saw on
problem.
TikTok that one guy just make a Shopify website, put the clothes in, and now he's getting thousands of orders. It's not work like that.
I love that. No,
Right.
no, the reality is very different, actually.
It's very, very different. And all the efforts and hours you have to put in. Man, I was actually thinking if I put the hours into the job, then I put in ZÁY, man, and maybe I'll make another person a millionaire in just maybe a month, not even longer than that. And we were talking
Yeah.
about confidence. I just remember, Lisa, when about just 2 months ago, when we had on our intro call, what I told you, I said, man, I was very nervous because I'm going to be having an intro call with a model, an Instagram model. Remember when I told you
Remember
that? So we were talking, I'm not now talking about 2 years ago, just 2 months ago, I said that.
Yes.
So, that's how I was even nervous today. I said, man, because as she said, you're just amazing. The work you put in, the efforts, the social media that you're running, it just looked like so perfectly aligned. And the things, man, it makes me nervous. I don't know if anybody else is. So
Well, we'll see. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, no,
if
yeah,
you're
let us
feeling
know in
it.
the comments. Let me know what you think about Liza, but I think she's perfect. The content
Oh,
and with the things and the message that you spread is just awesome. I love that. And that's
thank
why
you
I
so
didn't
much.
think twice to have this webisode with you. I said, yeah, I think twice because I was just gaining my confidence, but otherwise I was okay.
Pulling you all together. So how did you make it through the intro call? Was it okay
I
in
don't
the
know.
end?
I don't know. You can't see my legs, but they're shaking. So.
Oh my goodness. You know what? Actually, when you told me that last time, it
Okay.
stuck to me, and
Oh,
I have been, because I'm very analytical. I analyze
oh,
everything.
wow.
I
Okay.
it stayed with me, and I thought, well, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? You told me that, and we actually had a really nice conversation, because I think
Uh-huh.
like I'm very easy to talk to, and I'm very approachable. And then I
Right.
thought, well, imagine how many opportunities slipped because people hesitated to talk to me. So I'm very glad that
Yeah.
you didn't
Yeah.
hesitate. You
Exactly. I was too. That's why I said I think twice of this, and I said, yeah, let me do this. Maybe this is a task that I can gain my confidence.
another step.
Another step, right? And yeah, we were having our conversation through text messages. I'm just gonna ask you in the webisode too. You said you shoot it with your iPhone.
Yeah.
How? Because I do the same thing, and my quality and your quality, I don't have a word how to describe that.
Oh, okay. Well, it
Is there
comes
any
with.
secret settings or what?
So we have the same model, right? You have an iPhone 16 Pro Max, I think,
Exactly. I have
and
the
I have
same
the
one.
same one.
Yeah.
So I actually think that it all comes. So the settings. Let's talk through the settings. I
Okay.
always shoot on 4K,
Yes. Let me write
30.
my notes down.
Yeah, 30 FPS. Is it
Okay.
FPS? I think it's.
Okay, Miss Lisa, I am now ready to take the notes. Go ahead.
Okay, but use a proper note, like a notepad and pen, because I
Uh,
saw you writing on your.
I'm recording it.
Okay, yes, that's the
Yes,
best way.
that's the best
So
way. Right.
I always film my videos on iPhone 16 Pro Max.
Okay.
I set my camera settings to 4K 30 FPS.
Okay.
I feel like it gives you the best balance between the clarity and of the video, the quality of it. And, when you edit it, it still gives you enough flexibility in terms of if you want to slow the video down, if you want to kind of change the pace of the video, it still works quite well and the quality
Okay.
is quite good. Always wipe your camera before filming. I hope you do
Yes.
that.
I did that. Yeah.
I also, for my voiceover videos, I use this microphone which is a DJI
Yeah.
mic mini.
Yeah. I have the same one.
Have the same one,
I
really?
mean, not
Oh, it's
mini,
in
but
there,
a big one.
the
Let me.
big one. Oh,
This one.
okay.
Yeah.
Do realize that. Well, yeah, I can hear you really clearly, so
Oh, nice.
that's a good sign.
Okay.
And then I guess it all comes down to, as I said in the messages, swapping between angles. Make sure you kind of do a full body shot, you do a close up, you do a middle shot, do an overhead shot, do over the shoulder shot, like
I mean,
improv.
I get that, but a beautiful person like you can do that and you look good. But if I do that, I don't know how I'm gonna look in those
What?
shots.
Oh, you look amazing.
Oh,
Look
thank
at your
you.
glasses. You
These
look
glasses are
amazing.
actually 40 years old. I bought this in 2021. I still
See,
have
this
these.
is the sustainability in real
Right.
life. You
Yeah.
just love your glasses for 4 years now. That's amazing. Well
Yeah.
done.
Thank you. Thank you for appreciation. Okay, yeah, sorry, I cut you off. Any other things? I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah, mixing angles.
Okay.
Then I don't know which videos you're referring to, actually. Is it the reels on my profile that you're referring to, or what kind of videos?
I would say both.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess being expressive really helps. So it's not about the camera settings, it's about the person in the frame. I guess being expressive, being your true self, which also takes time because when I started doing content creation, or even started the brand, just as you said, I was really shy, I was really soft spoken. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to sustain this conversation 2 years ago. But then when you get yourself out there more and more and more and more, I do it every day, it
Yeah.
kind of becomes a part of your identity. You become really confident, you feel very organic. So if you're thinking about creating content, it's the same. Basically, just start doing it. I know it sounds very cliche, like just do it. It's like people always say that, like all the motivational speakers say, well, if you have to start doing it because your experience will come from it, your confidence will build. And
Yeah.
I don't want to repeat myself again, but yes, that's exactly what you need to do. Just start filming
Thank you.
and you will quickly learn, I'm absolutely sure.
Right. The same thing I would say, I just said before about the brand. You just have to start and then you're going to figure out the things.
Yes, you learn so much on the way to
Yeah.
your kind of goal, to where you're going.
Okay.
It applies to everything, really.
But yeah, I'll do that. We actually surpassed our 1 hour of conversation, but there are a few things more that I want to talk about if you're okay with.
Absolutely.
You remember I commented a video of you explaining the math.
Yes. I
How,
watched
how,
it just before the episode, by the way.
oh, really? How did you
Yes.
come up with the idea of that video?
Oh, okay. Was it about the Polygene Stay Fresh
I
technology?
believe so.
Yes. So the idea was so basically we are using that odor control treatment on our shirts, and it's a biotech treatment. The actual process behind it is very tech. It's loaded with innovation and technologies. I didn't want to go into that. I didn't want to go too deep into the technical bits, but I wanted to translate the effects the benefits of it into a very simple language that resonates with people. And I thought I would do simple calculations, like say you buy a Võld Urban shirt for £75. It has that odor control treatment. So how much money you actually make back,
The ROI,
return while you are wearing it, because
Yeah.
you're saving money, you're saving electricity, you're saving detergent, you're saving water. So
Right.
there should be a number, there should be a way of calculating it. So I just translated the technology, the very complicated stuff, into something relatable and easily understandable. And because I have that analytical background, I feel like numbers are always very easy to understand. So I did the calculation
Not
and
for
like
me.
for
Not
you.
not for me. Not for. You won't believe that I failed 2 times my exam in maths.
Did you?
I did.
But
Yeah.
you made it in the end, so.
Because I cheated.
Oh, did you? Oh, thank you for being honest and for saying it.
Yeah, but that's a reality.
Yeah, I guess I'm very technical. I'm just very
Okay.
academic, and I like, maybe that's how I understand things. And then maybe actually you just made me think maybe not for everyone that was the easiest way to understand the benefits of the innovation, but I'm hoping.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
was
if you were not started the brand, but you can be a good teacher then.
good teacher. Well, if the brand fails, which is it's not
I hope
going
not.
to, I'm
Yeah,
absolutely
it's not going
sure.
to. Yeah.
There is something else I can do.
Or do it as a
Yeah,
part-time,
as a part-time.
as a
Yeah,
part-time. Open some of those. I'm just looking at the layout. Anything else, Lisa, that you remember that we missed or you want to share to the webisodes?
let me have a look. I think we had a list of things we wanted to discuss.
Oh, you printed it? That's good.
Yes, I know it's not very sustainable, but it
I mean,
helps
I
me.
always thought of that, but I never did.
Yeah, I did it.
I didn't do it because I was lazy. Otherwise, I would.
Really? Oh, that's what drives the innovation, people being lazy and wanting to make
Right.
their lives easier. So,
Yeah.
shall we talk about the personal brands?
Yeah. I mean, that's the important thing.
That's the important thing. And what I thought when I started the brand is that we first do the brand,
Okay.
we then do the personal brand.
Okay.
But basically, I think if you're thinking about starting a brand, but then building your personal brand, you have to start with building your personal brand first. So it comes first because when you have, it's actually really hard, because to build your personal brand, you have to have a really clear understanding of yourself, of what your values are, of what you stand for, of what you believe in. Like, it's a really long journey, by the way, like understanding who you are, what you enjoy doing, etc., etc.
Right.
Well, once you've got that and you starting to build your personal brand, then it's much easier to start building your fashion brand. And the reason for that is because basically your brand is the produce of you, right? So that's what you pour your time in, your ideas in, your fire in. And if you don't know you, if you don't know who you are, what you stand for, it's really, really hard to build a brand, because there are so many opportunities. Like, you can create a unisex brand, you can create a sustainable fashion brand, you can do this and that. And then how do you choose? And how you choose it, you take the attention inwards. You're taking notes again.
No, whenever
pretending to.
yeah, whenever I don't want to miss anything, so I just take my notes.
Okay, so you take your attention inwards, you work with yourself first, you figure out who you are, and then it gets much, much easier to build a brand.
Wow.
So to answer your question, why I started building my personal brand and what it gives me clarity in my life, first of all. It gives me clarity in my business. And I guess it helps the brand too, because when sometimes people, it actually depends how they come across me. Do they come across me via the brand? So they see the brand first, they see the face behind the brand later, or
Okay.
they see the face behind the brand, they see the brand later.
Wow.
So it's like it's a journey. And I wonder how did you find me, by the way? Did you find my
No,
Instagram account
I was
first?
just
Or
wondering, you're really analytical. You
are you
really think about the things. Yeah.
I
Wow.
am.
I maybe I
I
thought
told
of
you.
those things, but I never thought of this way. Wow, that's good.
Okay. Well, that's a
Yeah.
good thing.
Jesse, I took my notes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm sorry, what you asked me? Oh, how
So
I
I
found you?
see, yeah.
Um, um, so as you know, one of the outreachers who in my team, they reaches you out, and you know, they were looking for the people in sustainability, especially the founders. I told them because I wanted to interview the founders and, you know, the innovations that are happening in the sustainable world. Um, and of course, it's the SEO, the keywords that we use, and I believe that's how they got you, and they did reach you out. I mean, yeah, now actually, I'm thankful to her. She did reach you out, but if I would never reach you out. The same thing, the hesitation. So
But she was a woman.
she was a woman, so
She's a woman, I mean.
she did reach you out and you respond back, and I got no choice to say no. So that's why I say, okay, let's do
So
it.
you were cornered. You had no escape.
I got no escape. Now you know the background. So yeah, that's how
Yes.
I believe they found you with the thing. And of course
Okay.
the amazing work, and of course the keywords is just as important it is that you use with your profile, because I know about this stuff too. So it's very important
It
to
is.
rank it. So yeah, I believe that's how we
Okay.
got you. Yeah.
All right. So you
I'm
saw
glad.
the person behind the brand first, and then you saw the brand, I guess, in your case.
If you give me a second, I can exactly tell you right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, find it out.
Sheets. I got my Google. No, actually, I was wrong. The person who reaches you out is a man.
Ah.
Yeah,
He didn't hesitate.
they didn't hesitate. Yeah.
Because it wasn't for him to have a conversation. It was for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, he put me in this spot. Okay.
Yes.
Let me see. Where are you, Liz? He put the pretty. Oh, not this one. I'm sorry. I'm taking time,
It's okay. It's
but
important for the
it's important.
podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would like to know.
Okay. Yeah. Your personal brand,
Right.
your personal profile.
That's what
And
I meant.
yeah, he puts your personal Instagram and the website, the
Mhm.
kazakova.com.uk.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another one. It's not your brand's website.
Yeah, that's my personal
That's your
brand.
personal, right? And yeah, fashion lifestyle UGC London-based romanticizing life through style and slow living. Nice.
Yes. Romanticizing. Yes.
Yes, right. So yeah, we got you from your personal brand. So yes, it is. Please, for the people who are listening to it, it is as much important to build your personal brand as your fashion brand or the brand that you're working on. Agreed.
Absolutely. Yes,
Right.
absolutely. And as we said, it's better to start with the personal brand and figuring out what you are about
Yes.
as a
Yes.
person.
Right. And it says Crozo nut buttons on your.
Yeah.
What is that?
The corrosive nut buttons is what you can see on the screen. So these are the buttons we use for all our shirts.
Mm-hmm.
So it's exactly what it says. These are the buttons that made of a corrosion nut, and
Mm-hmm.
not just any nut, if a one that fell from the tree. So it's not like they're picking up the nuts from the trees. They literally
Okay.
pick up those which are already on the ground, like they're ready. They are, it's like there is a
Wow.
natural process involved. So we are not
Uh-huh.
kind of, interrupting the
Not
natural
disturbing.
processes.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're not disturbing the nature.
Yeah.
So, and when you order them, so basically these ones are dyed to match the color of the shirt. So we have 5 colorways. We have, say, a pink shirt, and the buttons, they match the color of the fabric. So the dyeing process is, we do it in Latvia. It's a sustainable process. The dyes are sustainable as well, but they are very durable. So after multiple washing, they don't fade away. But yeah, it's a natural material. It's biodegradable. You can't eat them, of course. It's been never advised to do it, but it's biodegradable because it's made of a natural, material.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's cool. I mean, these are the innovations. Did
Mm,
you come up with this idea when you first started your brand? Did you know about
no,
this thing?
no, no. I didn't know you could have, you can order buttons made of shells. I didn't know you could order buttons made of nuts. I knew nothing, and that was all. So this shirt was created because of a very substantial and very deep research that we had to do
You did the
before
same math.
actually. The same. No, actually,
Okay.
there was no maths involved in
Okay.
this, but a lot of analysis. So yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Is that because you work in the software engineering, or I don't think there's a connection, or it is. It
There
is?
is definitely a connection because the
Okay.
attention to details, I guess, in the IT industry, because it's so fast moving,
Yeah.
because basically all the recent breakthroughs were made
Mhm.
due to the IT industry, to its
Yeah.
growth. I guess when you work in that industry for such a long time, you kind of learn that whatever you do, you have to do it better.
Right.
You have to improve. You have to find
Wow.
another way of doing it. It's like it was all about the itch to create something that is better, like truly better, that is innovative, that differs from other brands. So yeah, we did a very substantial research. We came across a lovely supplier in Latvia, and we are very pleased with how the shirts turned out.
Wow.
Thanks to the analysis, of course.
Yes. Yes. I'm very grateful for that. Yeah. Uh. Yeah. Anything else that we're missing?
Um, you tell me.
I tell you. Okay.
Yeah. Is there anything else you would like to discuss?
Oh, what lessons from parenting have helped you running a business, and vice versa? Is there any?
Ah, okay, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Lessons from parenting. Well, definitely, I think so. I had my child first, and then I had the brand.
Yeah.
So when I started the brand, I was
She's
already
adorable, like you, by the way. I want to say that.
so cute.
Yeah, she's so
Yes.
cute. Yeah.
She's a future content creator, I think, because she enjoys taking part in videos and pictures.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I have seen those. It's
Yeah,
just so cute to watch those videos.
thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's really cute. But when I had started the brand, I was already a very passionate person because parenting teaches you patience.
Mm.
It teaches you consistency. It teaches you devotion.
Wow.
When you, yeah, when you're raising a human child, you can't give up. There is, like very often you feel on the edge. You feel like you're going to have a meltdown any second, but then you kind of pull yourself together because, well, you can't let the little human being down because you're responsible for them. So you learn
Yes.
that resilience, you learn that consistency, you learn to stay present, which is very important as well for the brand and for the child. You have to be present, you have to be involved, you
Yeah.
have to always think about the future, like the next steps. That's also what helped me to kind of to make better choices again.
Yeah.
But then if we do vice versa, like what the business taught me, which helps me in parenting, is that good things take time. You know, do you understand that? What do you mean?
Okay. So you learned this from business and then you implement into the parenting. So
Yes.
what good thing you were expecting from your child?
Well, what I expect
Okay.
her to be a kind person,
Okay.
and we we need to learn. Like, you learn being kind. You don't necessarily born being kind. That's some people have to learn that.
Yeah.
Um, it's all about being like letting yourself and letting your child, letting your business, giving time to grow, giving time to evolve, giving time, like nothing good is done overnight, honestly. You can't build a brand within a week. You
Yeah.
can't raise a child within a week. You can't
Mhm.
even create a human being within a week. And everything good takes time. And that's what the business taught me.
Wow. That's amazing. Well said.
Have you made the noise?
Uh, y-
Yeah, you haven't.
I mean, my time's yet to come, so I'll listen to
Okay.
this webisode again at that time.
Okay. Parenting guides.
Yes, right, right. What advice would you give to someone with a fashion brand idea who hasn't
Mhm.
leaped yet? And the same thing as you said, they didn't took a chance to start. What would you say?
I would, because I'm an analyst,
Okay.
um, I would look at the situation
Uh-huh.
and try to understand what are those things that are holding you back.
Okay.
Like, what is really missing for you to take that step, to take that leap? What is the missing puzzle? Like, do you need extra support from your family? That
Uh-huh.
can be one of the reasons. Do
Okay.
you need a co-founder? Because sometimes we want someone to share our ideas with, and sometimes we might need another person to start a brand, which happened to me because me and my co-founder, we have different personalities and we complement each other. So you might need someone who complements you. You might need extra money. You
Uh-huh.
might raise funds. You might need to go and find your angel investors.
Yeah.
So it's just analyzing what's missing and kind of filling the gap.
Uh-huh. Right. So you actually mentioned, I believe, 3, 4 times about an investment or raising funds. How do you think that, I mean, do we need funds to start from the beginning, or is it important to have funds before we start the business, or we can get it along the journey, or how can we figure it out?
I don't want to be the person who says you can start a brand when you have a £0 or dollars on your account balance. You can't. No, it's
Okay.
not the way it works. So yes, absolutely, you have to have that certain amount of money to start with. It doesn't necessarily have to be tens of thousands of pounds. But if you want to do a sustainable fashion brand,
Mm-hmm.
it will require a substantial investment.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely, I would say you have to have some money set aside. And it's important that it's not it has to be, I'm tempted to say, your disposable income, like something you can set aside without sacrificing your lifestyle. So it's like that extra money that you have in your bank account.
Right.
Or if you don't have it, then your goal is to save money and to earn extra maybe. But yeah, definitely when you start your business, you have to have a certain amount of money to
Right.
start with.
Makes sense. Yeah. If you don't, just get a job, save some money aside, and then start a business, because
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with doing a job. It's just, you can have some funds and, then you can do it. Right?
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I did. So I had a job and I juggled two things at the same time, the brand and the job. I saved money from my job and I invested it into the business. We then had one investment round. So we had some angel investors to help us with the first production run, and that was a massive help. So sometimes you figure things out as you go. Sometimes you find people who believe in your idea and they're willing to help you financially. Of
Yes,
course, you give them shares, but that is not like
exactly.
a charity or donation, obviously. They
Right,
are expecting a return on their investment.
exactly. I got another good question, which is after
Mhm.
you start, let's say you started a brand, the sustainable brand. What is the, I'm gonna ask you what you did. What was the first step of the learning curve you started when you shifted towards sustainability?
Sometimes the fabric or the material you want to fulfill your idea within the sustainability sector, sometimes those materials don't exist.
Mhm.
Quite literally, like sometimes, say, we wanted to do a stretchy material, like we wanted to do leggings,
Mm,
and we wanted them to be very sustainable. And as I mentioned before, everything that stretches is really hard to recycle afterwards because it does have elastane in it,
yeah.
which means it does have at least two materials within one fabric, and it makes it very, very, very like kind of poisonous for the planet. So, but we wanted our products to have that built-in end-of-life solution. So
Mhm.
we were looking for a stretchy material that does have that is either mono, which is a mono fabric, which is a mono material, like, but they almost never exist. Or we were looking for a elastane substitute that is biodegradable. We
Yeah.
did find that material. So in
Uh-huh.
Japan, back then, they had such a innovative fabric
Oh,
already available, but it
okay.
was so expensive. It wouldn't make any sense to use it. Otherwise, we would have to sell our clothes for, I don't know, £300 per leggings, and that wasn't our goal. So sometimes the right fabric doesn't exist, and you have to kind of give up the idea until you
Okay.
find a better solution. So that's what happened to us. And
Do you think after
uh,
that time, did you get more innovations in that type of fabric and we could get a more better price range?
I think yes, I think so. I think
Okay.
since 2022, the industry has evolved, and like it always happens to all the innovations, they become more and more affordable over time. So now there are much more opportunities. So sometimes you come across a business, they can literally create a fabric, a custom-made fabric. So it will have all the qualities that you need. So you
Mhm.
kind of, it's a bit like a puzzle, a bit like you construct your own fabric based on what you need for your product. And they're
Right.
much more affordable now. So even like bespoke fabrics are much more affordable now than they were 3 years ago.
Mhm.
So yeah, definitely, it's evolving all the time.
Right. Wow. That's amazing. I mean, innovations are keep happening, as you said, you know,
Yeah, absolutely,
and gonna be
absolutely.
better by the time. I believe we just have to make the conscious decisions as a consumer and and as a brand our responsibility is that we do the justice with the people who are making the clothes, with the people who are going to wear the clothes, and especially the planet, so we don't harm our home where we all live in. As you see that the climate change happening all around the world and all the earthquakes, tsunamis, floods and all that, and this is what the outcome is. It's not, of course, there are natural disasters, but we played with the planet, you know?
We did.
Yeah,
We were not very responsible
exactly.
for a very long time, and we're still struggling to be responsible, I guess.
Yeah,
And that's why sustainable brands emerge. Keep that's why we exist. That's why ZÁY SHEEN exists. That's why Võld Urban exists, because I guess we as founders, we feel responsible for what our businesses do, like how they affect the planet, how they
right.
affect the consumer needs and consumer habits. And
Yes.
I'm absolutely sure, and I believe we can shape them.
Yeah, right. Exactly. One step at a time, and there's a difference, you know?
There is a difference. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we are about to end. I mean, we're about to time of of our webisodes. Maybe this is the last but not least. If a listener who's listening to this webisodes
Mhm.
wants and start to make more sustainable choices right now at this moment, what they should be doing?
You mean when buying, when shopping for
Buying,
clothes, or
when buying, or whatever they already have, or in any other aspect of their lives, overall being sustainable and making a difference.
okay, so I think I mentioned that before, that first of all, because there are so many ways of being sustainable, you can't do all of them. You have to decide maybe 2 or 3 ways that resonate with you. So you
Right.
have to figure out what actually resonates, because some people enjoy sewing and they love creating clothes, and creating your clothes is one way of being sustainable. Another way of being sustainable is shopping secondhand,
Yeah.
or repurposing,
Mhm.
or looking after your clothes is another way of being sustainable. You don't necessarily have to change your habits, like your buying habits. Sometimes you just need to look after your clothes better and
Yeah.
invest money into clothes that are durable, that last longer. So you can make smaller steps. You should do whatever feels right. You should figure out what way of being sustainable works.
Right.
If you are into buying new clothes, then definitely turn your attention, try to shop more sustainably. Like I understand the struggle. Sometimes it's really hard to find a sustainable alternative to whatever you're looking for. But
Mhm.
there are really nice brands out there, and sometimes you have to dig a bit.
Yeah.
But I'm almost certain that if you look for it, you can buy a more sustainable alternative to whatever you're after.
Exactly.
Think about the end of life. Think, how are you going to discard clothes? How you're going to recycle them? Always keep that in mind. Um, yeah, just enjoy. I always say that fashion is a therapy. Is a type of therapy.
Mhm.
Buy what feels good, because when you buy what feels good, what makes you feel better, then you love your clothes more, you wear them more, and you just feel better overall. So have
Right.
fun with fashion. That would be my
Yeah.
overall
We
advice to everyone.
the goal is to be 100% sustainable, but as you said, we can't be, and that's actually a fact because there are too many things, and even though with yeah, there it is hard, but taking the steps, having us taking 2, 3 things and being more sustainable, that is much easier, and of course, you do make a difference.
Yes, every little choice, every better choice makes a difference. And people sometimes underestimate their impact. Sometimes they think, well, if we do something better, then it doesn't really make a difference. No, it does. It
Right.
does. And it does have that compound effect. When you do it more and more and more and more, you
Yeah.
actually get better results. So just keep doing.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. I agree with that. Yes. Anything else, Lisa?
I just wanted to say a very big thank you for discovering me and
No, of course.
inviting me, because that's a big milestone for me as well. And I'm very, very glad I was invited to be a guest and to have that opportunity to share my deeper thoughts on the business, on the sustainability market.
Mhm.
Um, I hope you had a great time too, and you
Of course, I learned a lot.
made notes.
I had my notes always, so I can look at them anytime I want. And I mean, it's such a pleasure to have you in this ZÁY Webisodes. And we had a wonderful conversation. We discussed about the things and especially what brands, the innovative brands, are making a difference. And we have, as a consumer, we have the choices to make to be, because that's how we can support the planet, the people, and more ethical practices, you know? It's way better
Absolutely.
to them. And and yeah, I mean, on this webisodes I started, um we I actually got big names in the industry all over the world, from the US, from UK, from from Australia, from New Zealand, from Iceland, I covered all the continents, and it's just amazing. And I'm very glad that you give me the opportunity to have you in the webisodes. And I'm gonna thank myself too for that, so I didn't hesitate.
Yes, exactly. Another
So,
advice to not hesitate.
right, don't hesitate.
But
I mean, if it's not gonna happen, it's not gonna happen. But you never know.
you
Maybe
never
you'll
know, you
get
should
Liza on
try.
the webisode.
If you get lucky. If you get
Yeah, I am. I am so lucky. But
you.
I always say
Joke.
you can't be lucky unless you put the efforts and work into it.
Absolutely. Well, actually, I don't believe there is such thing as luck. Well,
Me
it,
too.
it might sound a bit cheesy. And well, certainly there is such thing as luck, but people overestimate the importance of luck. They feel like people who, I don't know, say have a fashion brand, like many people think like, oh, you got lucky, you got maybe extra support from someone, or maybe you knew the right people in the industry. Don't overestimate the meaning of luck. Everything you see, everything that kind of changes our lives
Yeah.
in the good way was the produce of a very hard work and a
Right.
little bit of luck. So
Yes, of course. I mean, the luck is wherever you are and you have people, or if you have contacts, use them, of course, because you have them. But there's no denial on the efforts that you have to put in, the amount of hours, the amount of work, and the sacrifice spending time with the family or with your loved ones. Because I've been sitting in this room working 16 hours, and my parents are next door. I mean, the next room, and I don't see them. And things like that, and the efforts that you have to put in, and that's how you get lucky.
yes.
Right. That's the only way to
Mhm.
get lucky, I would say.
Yes, to get lucky, to
To
get
get
what you
lucky.
want, actually. Yeah, to achieve things is to put in the effort.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree.
Right.
And time and sacrifice certain things. And it's not the kind of journey that would work for everyone. And I absolutely understand that. But for people who are into creating something new, I guess that's the way of doing it.
Right.
Definitely sacrificing and putting in the effort.
Exactly. Yes. So thank you very much again, Miss
No
Liza,
worries.
for appearing us here on the ZÁY SHEEN Webisode. I also want to say, I didn't announce it yet, but we'll be having our season 2 for ZÁY SHEEN Webisodes.
Oh,
So
okay.
you might be one of the last guests of the first season,
Oh,
and
is it a good thing or?
it's a good thing. And I'm actually thinking maybe have you as a last guest, because
Oh, okay.
it's gonna be a great ending with the first
Thank
season.
you. Oh, I'm very honored to be the last one of the
Yes.
first episode, first season guest. So yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. I'm honored.
So I'm definitely working on that. And
Mhm.
yeah, with the second season, I learned a lot with the first one.
Yep.
And with all the guests, and I'm looking for more. I already started working on that, and yeah, I think it's gonna be great opportunity
Oh,
and a great start for the second one.
exciting. What will be the difference between the first and the second? Like why there is a new season?
So I don't know if we could put this live yet, but I can tell you.
Okay.
So what I'm thinking is definitely I'm gonna make a new setup, a
Mhm,
better one, because I'm probably moving my house too. So I'm
mhm,
looking a house where I can get a bigger room so I can have a better setup, and so I can do some in-person interviews too of episodes. Beside that, I'm actually thinking to have some season as a second season. Maybe I can just have the founders on the webisode. That's it. Only the founders with different niches, especially in fashion, accessories, or footwear, who's actually making a difference with that. And this, or we can find any other niche in sustainability that we could discuss.
mhm.
That's the thing. And of course, have a better layout for the webisode, so it's gonna be more interesting, more engaging. Ask some rapid fire questions, ask some, some kind of entertainment and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my idea. So let's
Sounds
see.
amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Like it's evolving. That's always very exciting. So good luck with that. And
Oh, thank you.
yeah, look back at the notes when you film
Uh,
next time.
Definitely. I mean, if you have something, let me just take down the notes. Anything.
Okay, definitely. Well, thank you very much.
Again, yes, of course. And Liza, where people can find you?
Right. So people can find me. Hopefully, we can leave the links somewhere in the
Absolutely. All the
caption
links
or
that Liza kind of mentioned, you can find it into the description.
perfect.
100%.
So you can find me on Instagram. You
Mm-hmm.
can find me on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
You can find Võld Urban at voldurban.com. This is our main trading platform, our website. And obviously, we have an Instagram account too. So please give us a follow. That would
definitely.
mean a lot for a brand who is, kind of finding their way to the
Of
market, to
course.
the audience. So that would
Yeah.
be absolutely amazing.
Especially the ones who are actually making a difference. So why not? There's a good math behind to support them. Right.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So thank you again, Liza, for joining us here on ZÁY SHEEN Webisodes, and all the lovely people who listened to this one. Maybe this would be the last one, or maybe you're going to hear one more from the season 1. And I'll see you with the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.